are stories so horrific, so profoundly disturbing, that they rarely find their way into textbooks, and even more rarely into public awareness. Today, we explore an experiment that lasted nearly half a century. A government-led program in the heart of the United States that deliberately sacrificed the lives of hundreds, possibly thousands, of people. This is not fiction, not dystopia. This is the real and tragic tale of the Tuskegee Syphilis experiment. And even now, after official apologies, investigations, and national outrage, the most chilling truth remains. No one was ever held accountable. The year is 1932. The Great Depression grips the United States. In rural Alabama, poverty is widespread, particularly among the African American population. It's here in the town of Tuskegee that the U.S. Public Health Service launches what it calls a study. Officially, the goal is to observe the effects of untreated syphilis in black men. But behind the sterile language lies something far more disturbing, a calculated deception. The men involved were never told they had syphilis. They were never given the chance to consent. They were not treated. They were observed, like lab rats. The study enrolled over 600 African American men. Some had syphilis, others did not, serving as a control group. They were promised free medical care, meals, and even burial insurance. But they were never informed of their condition. In the deeply segregated South, where black Americans had virtually no legal or social protection, the government found its test subjects. Even after penicillin became a proven cure for syphilis in 1947, the men were not treated. In fact, local doctors and hospitals were instructed not to treat them under any circumstances, to preserve the study's integrity. The consequences were devastating. Many of the men died slow, painful deaths from heart failure, neurological damage, and insanity. Their wives were infected. Their children were born with congenital syphilis. This was no longer a medical study. This was a moral collapse. Human beings had been reduced to biological specimens. No consent, no dignity, no chance to escape. The public only learned of the study in 1972 when Peter Buxton, a whistleblower working in the Public Health Service, leaked the story to the press. A front-page expose in the Washington Star shocked the nation. Senate hearings followed. The medical community was outraged. The study was finally shut down. Justice, it seemed, might be served. Yet no one was prosecuted. Not a single scientist, physician, or government official faced legal consequences. In 1997, 65 years after the experiment began, President Bill Clinton issued a formal apology on behalf of the United States. His speech was moving, but for the survivors, elderly, ill, forgotten, it was far too late. Some received compensation, but the damage was done, and the legacy of distrust toward the medical system in black communities lingers to this day. This story is not just about race, medicine, or politics. It is about power and what happens when it goes unchecked. Science, divorced from ethics, becomes a weapon. The Tuskegee study is a lesson, a horrifying one, but a necessary one. Because, as the philosopher Hegel once said, the only thing we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this difficult but important story. If you believe history like this must not be forgotten, share this video. Because the truth isn't always comfortable, but without it, we are doomed to repeat our darkest mistakes. Take care, be vigilant. And remember, the deadliest experiments aren't always carried out with guns. Sometimes all it takes is a doctor's pen.